Welcome to Envisioned Broadcasting, the station designed to encourage, equip, and empower you for growth and success. Presents Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert, a show that shines a light on spiritual growth, health, purpose, and financial education. It's time to emerge and begin to live out your dreams, walk into your destiny, while making a difference in the lives of many.
Welcome to Women Emerge with Dr. Mellisa Lambert, H.C., where we talk faith, family, finance, and truly legacy. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Today, we're going to actually continue in the conversation of why do we need to protect our children with life insurance early. So today's topic is one that every parent, grandparent, auntie, uncle, or guardians really need to hear. The topic again for today, I will be discussing why do we need to protect our children with life insurance early. And you hear the word early, right? So I'm going to dive into facts, the power of whole life policy, and how these policies can grow into financial tools, and the risk of leaving children uncovered. So let's go, y'all. Let's have this conversation. I pray as a parent you understand the importance of knowing that if you don't have coverage, you need it. If your children is not covered, you need to get them coverage. It's not about, just making sure they have something for death. We want to make sure they have something for life. So why insure children early? Parents, listen. Guardians, listen. Parents often wait until adulthood to think about life insurance, and that's not what you're supposed to do. At 5 days old, you can insure that child immediately. Once that Social Security number is given, you can call your life insurance agent. For me, I call myself financial consultant and say, "Hey, Mellisa, I just had a baby. I need to put some coverage on that child," right? So you don't wait until they're in adulthood, or you don't wait until they're in their teenage days, right? You got to insure them ASAP, because at that stage, they're the most healthiest. But truth is, children qualify easier and at a lower rate when they are young and healthy. Remember, I just said that. They are going to be at a healthier state when they're just 5 days old. Some children, let's make it very clear. You do have children who are born with certain dis-ease or certain illness. So I can't say that every child that's born will be covered immediately. However, if your child is in good health and you know that this child was born in this world with, pass all those tests that they give them, yes, they're going to qualify easier at a lower rate when they're young and healthy. The next thing I want you to think about why you need to insure your child early is that the earlier you insure this child of yours or these children of yours, the more protection and financial security you lock in. Just think about it like this. Your children, the goal is to see them grow up, to see them go into their youth, their teenage, their toddler stage, to their, preteen stage, to their teen stage, to their young adult stage, to now being an adult. We want to see them grow. So you want to be able to protect them at an earlier stage so you can now build what we call cash value, where they now have liquid cash available to them for purchases or for investments such as college investment, for their first vehicle, for their deposit on their wedding, or deposit on their first home, or to start a business, right? You want to be able to secure that and lock that in early, because now guess what? You got time on your hands, because they're not going to age backwards. They're going to age forward. So yes, protect them early. And if you don't have anything on them now, don't be alarmed. Just protect them. Okay? So the earlier you insure them, again, the more protection and financial security you have locked in. So just to give an example, our premiums are much lower for a 5-year-old than a 25-year-old. Premium is going to be much lower for a 10-year-old than a 20-year-old, right? Or a 30-year-old. Understand, as you age, disease also age with you, right? Nowadays, these food is not so good, and our kids are not having the proper nutrients in their body. They're not active enough. Like back in the days when I was growing up, we was outside playing until the street lights are turned off. That's when the street lights is off. You got to go inside. These kids are stuck inside playing Roblox. They're stuck inside watching TikTok. They're stuck inside doing some type of Instagram reel. Okay? Make that make sense. They're not active as they should. So if you're not as active as you should and you're not eating right, you're not sleeping right, what's going to happen? They're going to pile up that weight, y'all. So yes, we got to insure them sooner than later. The second thing that I want to talk to you about is facts. What's the facts about your children being insured? Okay, so let's talk about that. Over 45% of U.S. families don't have life insurance for their children. Did you hear me? Over 45% of U.S. families don't have life insurance for their children. And I will say to you mothers, I will say to you fathers, why not? And what I also want to remind you as well is, if you do have insurance on these kids, how much? And are you really taking advantage of a structured policy that will build forth legacy? When I say legacy, build forth cash value that these children can turn into when they're 18, they're 20, they're 30. They can say, thank you, mommy, thank you, daddy, for preparing my future so I can be better than you. When I say better than you, they don't have to slave so hard for the dollar. They don't have to start from scratch because you've given them a leg up in life. And some parents may say, man, they got to work hard like I did. Why? Just imagine if your parents took the initiative to do what we're doing for them today. Where would you be nowadays? Right? I want you to think about that, and get out the mindset, I'm going to provide for them now, and when they get older, they got to figure that out. No, that's bad parenting. That's not really loving on your kids. That's expecting them you're expecting to take care of them until they reach a certain stage and then you're done. No, absolutely not. I want you to really, really take heed. Take heed to the knowledge of knowing what to do and how we can protect our children for their future. So many adults only start policies after health issues arise. And I don't understand even why we do that, because when you do that, you're making you're now getting that premium higher or even impossible to qualify. And when I say this right here hit home for me, I thought about a client of mine. He would have been a client of mine in May. And I remember in the early of this year, him and I having a conversation. We're going to create a legacy bank for his entire family. It was about 200 of them. They want to be their own banks and create and circle that money within the family. And he delayed. Melissa, I gotta finish up some stuff. Melissa, I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Melissa, I gotta wait until I get this house. I'm almost closing on the house. I'm gonna get the house in June, end of June. That should be good. June 1st came, and the same client that delayed. He's very much older gentleman, and I think he's in his late 50s. Delayed. On June 1st, he had a stroke, a massive stroke. And if he had did the policy, he would have activated the living benefit, meaning he would have got over $100,000 sent to his account immediately, because that's 25% of that type of critical illness that he had, which is having a stroke. That is covered under his plan. He could have got more depending on how much the his entire policy was for. But do you see what happened when people procrastinate? Life is going to happen if you do it today or tomorrow. Life will happen. Now, guess what happened to this client of mine? Well, he would have been a client of mine. Guess what happened to this friend of mine? He's now uninsurable. He cannot be insured because he just had a stroke. So for the insurance, he's considered a risk. Do you see why I say to you, we put too much value on everything else but our own life. We put value on today and never for tomorrow, not realizing no matter what, you close your eyes, tomorrow's going to, and you wake up, God's willing, tomorrow came. You're not underneath the earth, you're above the earth and not beneath. So I want you to understand, no matter what, I'm asking you, do not delay on insuring yourself. Do not delay on insuring your children. I want you to think about it. With us as adults, we can get both term as well as whole life. And when you activate the whole life and the term, you can really access the infinite banking concept. We show you how we structure the policy to make sure you're able to use that as an official bank for yourself. But with children policies, they can only get whole life insurance, and they also get what we call a whole life insurance guarantee insurability. What does that mean? Even if a child later develops health issues, their coverage is already locked in. I hope you understand that. So because they have whole life insurance guarantees insurability as a rider, this child, no matter what happens to them within a certain year period, this child maybe later develops some type of health issue, their coverage is already locked in. That's a plus and a great bonus because things happen. Things happen that just like I told you, my client, he's good health, vegan. Was a previous boxer. Now was a trainer, a very athletic person that just takes everything under the sun to keep his body healthy. But the brain did not feel that way. His body went into a shock, and he had a stroke. So we never know what's going to happen. God's willing that we stay healthy, right? However, I still want you to understand life will happen. Again, you are tuned into Women Emerge with Dr. Mellisa Lambert, H.C. And I am just excited because today we're having that conversation. I'm talking with you, parents, guardians, aunties, uncles. I'm here having this dialogue with you, talking about why do we need to protect our children with life insurance. And this information, I'm telling you, it's necessary. It's needed. Okay? As I mentioned earlier, the sooner you insure your children, the better for them because they qualify easier and at a lower rate when you cover them early. When you insure them early, that you now have more protection and financial security on this child. Their premium is going to look different from when they get older, right? And I just finished talking to you about the facts about what kids being insured. 45%, over 45% of U.S. families don't have life insurance for their children. Many of them may have life insurance for themselves, but to forget the fact that they got to insure their children, right? And one of the things that we normally put on all our policies for our children is the whole life insurance guaranteed insurability rider. So no matter what happened later on, they may develop a health issue. That child is covered, and their coverage is locked in. So let's continue this conversation, and we're going to talk about the power of whole life policy. Here's the reason why I focus more on this part. Whole life insurance isn't just protection, y'all. It builds cash value. I'm going to say that again. Whole life insurance isn't just protection. It builds cash value. Your goal is to not use it for death. Your goal is to use it for life. Whenever you transition, you have left something behind still for your family to have. That's what you need to do. Parents can use the same cash value to do so many things with for their children. College tuition, buying their first car or their first home, help them start a business, help them travel the world. Essentially the policy grows into a financial bank for this child or these children. When this policy is structured properly, we show you how you can borrow against it instead of turn into a traditional bank. So we want you to always understand the power behind what you have. And here at Core Financial Partners, we want to keep the channel open, keep the communication open to understand what you have in place for you and your family. Next, I want to share with you is how we're going to use in life insurance as a bank. How do we do that, right? Because again, we hear about banking and we only hear and know about traditional banking, the Wells Fargo, the Bank of America, the PNC, the Navy Federal, the Fifth Third, name your bank. That's a traditional way of doing banking. But I thank God for the late Nelson Nash, who created the concept becoming your own banker. I am a licensed practitioner of the Nelson Nash Institute, which I teach and talk about this same concept, becoming your own bank. And one thing I can say to you that I love and I appreciate the most is this infinite banking concept solves a big problem. And what is the problem that it solves? Being in control. Being in control of the banking function in your life. That's the problem infinite banking solves. Because when you don't control it, you don't own it. I'm going to say that again. When you don't control it, you do not own it. So the biggest problem and that we hear that speak about infinite banking, the biggest problem that we solve is that we show you how to control it. We show you how to control the banking function in your life, the way money flow in and the way money flow out of your life. So how do we solve that? Becoming your own bank. That part, okay? And not only just you becoming your own bank, but teaching your children how to do that. With whole life, your children or your child can one day access funds for emergencies or opportunities, repay themselves with interest, keep money circulating within their own financial system instead of giving it to the banks. So we want you to understand that. The goal is to do what? Keep money circulating within their own financial system instead of giving that same money to the traditional bank. Teach them now so they don't become us later. I'll say it again, and I will always repeat what's good, y'all. Teach these kids now how to circulate money so they don't become us later, giving our money to these institutions who takes our money to use it for profit and give us penny on the dollar. We are the bank's business, and we're not standing on our own business. How you stand on business is owning the banking function in your life. That's how you stand on business. Because these business owners, these banks they're a business, right? They're an institution that needs your business to survive. They need your business. Your money is their business to stay open, to keep their door open. Do you understand that? And when you put your money into their institution, they take your money and lend it out to the community. They lend it to your neighbors, your auntie, your uncle. They lend it out. Put some money on it, make some profit, and put yours back. So we want to teach our children how to keep the money circulating within their own their own household so they can now have their own financial system instead of giving that control away to a system that was never meant for us. So using life insurance as a bank is what we teach here. As I shared with you earlier, that IBC solves the biggest problem, which is control. Controlling the banking function in our lives. That part. Okay? So let's continue on with this. I love this type of topic because, again, it's teaching us something. It's keeping us on our foot and our toes to know exactly how we can do better and be better. Do better for ourselves, but be better for the future. And how we do that is with our children, okay, by teaching them what we're learning now. So the danger of not protecting them, here's the danger from parents. If tragedy, like, if something major happens, something terrible strikes, and you don't have coverage, families are left scrambling with funeral costs. That's the hardest part. It's something just think about it. We have car insurance and we don't even activate all that. Like, prime example, on Tuesday, I bought a new car, right? And the price of this new car for my insurance went totally up, right? And because I'm in finance, I know how to run the numbers. So I said to this lady, listen, we at $194, and I'm not paying $194 for this vehicle. So I need you to take your time with me and go through the policy from top to bottom so I can see what I need and what I don't need. I spent an hour and 10 minutes on that phone with that lady. I bought my policy from $194 to $131. I even have a safe driver's safe insurance on there because I've had my, thank you, Jesus, I haven't had an accident. I drive very safe. I drive for me, the person next to me, and the person next to me, and the person behind me, and I drive for the person in front of me. I take my time. I watch where I'm going, and I pray to God that I get to where my destination safely and return back home safely. Okay, and I pray you do the same. But guess what? I have never had to activate my car insurance, but every single month I pay it. I have health insurance. I don't go to the doctor every single month. I go quarterly because I like to do my blood work every quarter. Okay, I go quarterly. But for some of y'all have. I know one of my a person that I know in my life been in this country for 13 years, and to count on one finger how many times he actually went to the doctor. He went to the doctor maybe twice, 2-3 times in 13 years, but he's still paying. I think he paid like $300-400 a month out of his check for insurance that he's never using. He don't use the dental, he don't use his vision, and he doesn't use his medical, but he still pays it every month and don't use it. Let's talk about home insurance, rental insurance. We get it, we have it, right? But we don't even take advantage. Like I was renting a apartment for 5 years. Well, really, sorry. I was renting because this one had insurance and the other one. So for a total of 10 years, I was in an apartment. Had rental insurance, been paying rental insurance from day one. Never had to use it, but I have it. I've been paying for it. So I say all this. I give you all those type of insurance: rental insurance, mortgage insurance, car insurance, car insurance, medical insurance, right? Name the insurance, legal insurance, you name it. Many of us have it, but many of us don't have the one thing that will give us safety, the one thing that will allow our family to be at peace, the one thing that's going to allow our family to say, thank you, Daddy, thank you, Mommy, thank you for really making sure that when you transition, I'm okay. The one thing, life insurance, we don't even have. We don't even see the value of it. Then we say, oh, now I ain't gonna spend no $400 a month, but you're not understanding your lifespan, your value, meaning like how much do your family need to survive? God forbid you transition today. Do you think $100,000 gonna last your kids for 10 years? Do you think $100,000 is gonna last your kids if you have 3 or 4 kids and a wife or a husband? Do you think that $100,000 gonna last them? You need $1 million at least, 1.5 or something. At least that's going to give your family a expansion, extended time frame of saying, you know what, I don't have to worry 5 years from now. I don't even, if you have a financial consultant like me, I'll show you how to put that money to better use and let that money grow, right? So now you have longevity money, money that's going to carry over no matter what. So parents, understand there's danger of not protecting yourself, and there's danger of not protecting your children. You don't want to sit there scrambling to find money to bury your kids, or find money to provide for your significant. I mean, to bury your significant other, or how do we live after we bury them? If your child later develops a health issue like asthma, diabetes, or cancer, getting life insurance could be difficult or even impossible. That's one of the danger of not protecting them early. And not having coverage means losing out on generational wealth opportunities. We don't even talk generational wealth when it comes to life insurance. And I wonder why. Because you have people out here talking about that IUL all the time, not understanding that, you know what, a whole life policy is where you need to be, where you structure it to be able to use it today. I don't have to dump in my money and wait 5 to 6 years to take it out. With the way we structure our policy, you can call it, give it 48 hours, call it in. Put dump the money in, and couple of days later, call it in to take out up to 90% out of it. Okay, you can use it right away. You can touch that money not right away. I would say give the bank enough time to have the money move around, and then once it's moved, then you can call it in and get it moved back to the traditional bank, however you want to do it. So, yes, I want you to understand there is danger of not protecting yourself or your children. So, again, you are tuned in to Woman Emerge with Dr. Mellisa Lambert, H.C. And today's topic, I am talking about why do we need to protect our children with life insurance early. And I am your trusted financial consultant. I am licensed in over 13 states. I am also a licensed practitioner of the Nelson Nash Institute. Who is Nelson Nash? He is the father of infinite banking concept. He created that concept, and even though he has transitioned, his family, his daughter, his granddaughter, his son-in-law is continuing this pattern, this journey, and with the process of the Nelson Nash Institute, we are creating the system. We have the system put in place to make sure people hear and know about this. All right, so I want you to understand that our goal is to see you win. Our goal is to see you succeed. Our goal is to see you have legacy. Our goal is to see generational wealth come through your household and stay within your family, right? And we want to make sure you have the knowledge behind it all. So let's talk about just I have 10 pros and versus 10 cons when it comes to protecting children early. So here are the 10 pros of protecting your children early. I'm going to go through them a bit fast because I don't really want to stay on too long on the air with you. But let's talk about number one. The first pros of protecting children early is low premium, locked in for life. Second, guaranteed insurability regardless of future health issues. 3, builds lifelong financial discipline. Build long life financial discipline. Accumulates, number 4, accumulates cash value. Again, we're talking about the 10 pros of protecting children early. Number 5, provides funds for college, business, or major purchases. The 6th pro, when it comes to protecting your children early, is creates a safety net for unexpected tragedy. Number 7, teaches children about wealth and responsibility. We need to teach them that because these kids don't have no value to money. Okay? That part. Remember, we're talking about the 10 pros of protecting children early. Number 8, forms parts of generational wealth transfer. Forms parts of generational wealth transfer. Number 9, it provides peace of mind for parents, guardians. And lastly, here is the 10 pros of protecting your children early. Number 10, positions your child to be their own bank. I hope you heard that. I'm going to go over them again just to make sure you got it. Number 1, low premium locked in for life. 2, guarantee insurability regardless of future health. 3, build lifelong financial discipline. 4, accumulates cash value. 5, provides funds for college, business, and major purchases. 6, creates a safety net for unexpected tragedy. 7, teaches children about wealth and responsibility. 8, forms part of generational wealth transfer. 9, provide peace of mind for parents. 10, positions your child to be their own bank. So here are the 10 cons of not, you hear me that word, 10 cons of not protecting your child or children. 1, because you didn't protect your children with life insurance early, now they have a higher premium if insured later. 2, the 10 cons of not protecting your children is 2, risk of being denied coverage due to health issues. 3, no financial foundation for future needs. 4, because you did not protect your children with life insurance early, you have loss of opportunity to build cash value early before than you would have if you had started earlier protecting your children. Number 6, family left with financial strain in case of any type of tragedy that happened. 7, missed chance to teach financial education early to these children. Number 8 reason, these are the 10 cons of not protecting your children because you did not protect your children. Number 8, they depend on traditional banks and lenders for moving of money, for their life functioning of their life. Now they don't have control. Now they've given away their control. Remember, the focus of IBC solves what problem? Being in control. Because you did not protect your children early, they have given away their control to an institution called the banks and lenders. Now 9, lost opportunity to create generational wealth. And the last cons of not protecting your children is ongoing regret of what if we had started sooner. I hear that word all the time, even with us as adults. Dag, I wish I could have started. I wish I knew about this earlier. Now I am telling you, now you know about it, do something about it. Don't think it's too late for me to start or it's too late for my kids. Chelsea was only 12 when she started her 2 policies, and we still going at it with it, right? You got to understand that it is very important for you to stay on top of what it is. And starting now, don't wait until later to do that. I hope this has been really helpful. I truly believe my passion, my heart desire is to see us parents wake up. We spend money on these sneakers. Back to school for Florida for those who are in the north. Sorry, those who are in the south started like in early 2 weeks ago. For me, for Chelsea, started on August the 6th, right? And she had to get her hair done. She had to get her nails done. She had to get a book bag and sneakers, and the amount of stuff we had to buy. Thousands was spent, right? We can spend thousands, but we can't put away 100. Make that make sense. You can spend thousands of dollars. You can drop $100 a week on just eating out, but you can't drop $100 a month to protect your children. Come on, family. Please wake up. Don't be that parent. I wish I would. I wish I coulda, woulda. I wish I did. I wish I coulda. I wish I would have. Don't. Don't be that type of mama. Don't be that type of dad. Stop saying, "Oh, I love my family," but you can't protect your kids. You can't protect your wife. You can't protect yourself. These marriages, I told y'all earlier last couple of times, like marriages nowadays, there's four things y'all struggle with. Communication is one. If you're not communicating, you can't do the second thing, which is trust each other. If you can't trust each other, you can't share each other's financial situation, look in each other's account, give access to each other. There's no trust that was built. No communication, no trust, and you can't trust each other with your finance. The fourth thing is you don't know each other's love language, so you can't operate and really build that core of a woman or a man, or understand the core of that significant other of yours. So family, like parents, we got to do better for ourselves. We talk about we love our family, but you can't protect them. You can't even put aside $50 a month. Man, it hurts my heart. It hurts, especially single mothers. I know we don't have it, but you got to squeeze 25 if you got to. Put something aside, because regardless of the matter, you don't want this child to come suffer like you did. So no matter what, I sacrifice that $150 every month for Chelsea. It's out of sight, because by the time she's my age, Chelsea will have hundreds of $1,000 cash, liquid, to use however, whenever she wants. Do you hear me? Make your child a millionaire so they can turn that million into billion. Make them greater than you, not in just by saying it. Oh, you're gonna be greater than me. Show it. Action speaks louder than words. What are you putting in place other than your word? I'm speaking life over them. Okay, great. Let's see if they can take that word to the bank. They can't take that. They can't take that. Right? So please wake up. Please wake up, okay? Please, family, do me a favor. I need you to reach out to me. I would love to, first educate you, answer all your questions, make sure you have clarity, and let's put something in place for you first and then for your children, because everybody deserves to be covered. I pray that your situation is not in a place where you don't have to, you're at a place where you can't be insured because if you didn't take care of your health. I pray that's not the case. I pray that you can get the coverage that you deserve, where you can establish one bank, then two banks, then three banks. It's called infinite banking for a reason, because we're not trying to put a cap on your bank. Okay? So as I close this in today, I need you to reach out to me. I would love to be your trusted financial consultant. I am a part of Core Financial Partners, where my partners, Tony and Latoya Chambly, is my greatest helper. They're the one that's there guiding me, helping me, and teaching me on this journey. But they are also here for you, to guide and help you. Whatever I don't know, I ask them. And when they don't know it, they figure it out, to ask their mentor. And then we bring it back, because we're not claiming to know it all. We claim that we want to help you all. We're not trying to claim that we know it all, but our claim is we want to help you all, help you to know better so you can do better. Okay? So protecting our children early with life insurance isn't about preparing for the worst. Remember that. It's about positioning them for the best. With whole life that is structured, it's a policy that we show you how we're going to structure it to help you. You're not just giving them coverage. You're giving them a head start. You're giving them a legacy, and you are giving them the ability to one day be their own banks. Do you hear me? You're not just giving them life insurance. You're not just giving them a policy. No. You're not just covering them. You are giving them a head start to life. You're giving them a legacy where they can leave for their children's children. You're giving them the ability to one day be the banker, be the lender, and not the borrower. That's what the Bible speaks of. That's what you are doing. So thank you again for tuning in to Women Emerge with Dr. Mellisa Lambert, ACE.C. I pray that you found this episode really helpful. Please share this with someone you like, love, and trust. You know, September is Insurance Awareness Month, and we're going to preach this all the way to the bank, to our own banks, where everyone, as those who I like, love, and trust, and those who I'm getting to know, they too own their own banks. So I want you to do me a favor. Don't forget to go to LambertLegacyFinancial.com. LambertLegacyFinancial.com. Go to that website. When you get there, there's a lot of information. Read up on me. Watch our videos. Listen to our podcasts. Do all that. But the main thing is go and schedule a complimentary consultation with me today. Tomorrow is not promised, so that's why you do whatever you can today. So go to LambertLegacyFinancial.com, LambertLegacyFinancial.com, and schedule a time for us to kind of have a dialogue, have a conversation, go over what you have if you do have a policy, or go over what you don't have and what you need to have to put in place to start your process of controlling the banking function in your life. All right. So again, thank you so much for tuning in to Women Emerge with Dr. Mellisa Lambert. I hope that you find this episode helpful. You can follow me on all the social media platforms at Mellisa. That's Mellisa S. Lambert. That's Mellisa Mellisa Lambert, Lambert. You can also look at my page on Facebook, Lambert Legacy Financial, Lambert Legacy Financial. Also on our YouTube channel, Women Emerge Network. You can go to YouTube, Women Emerge Network. All of my episodes of my podcast, you can go all the way back to the beginning stage of me doing this podcast. All of it is there, okay? Listen to it, and get the knowledge. The people perish because of what? The lack of knowledge. Here with Core Financial Partners, our goal is to make sure you're educated, because we believe when you know better, you can do better. When you understand what is happening, you can change what you will do for the future. Okay, so again, thank you so much. I really appreciate you all. Don't forget, I am always on the air every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please tune in, tell a friend. And if you do have nieces and nephews, you can also help them be insured. You can protect them too. If the parents don't want to own the policy, you just own the policy. But you or the parents have to have some form of insurance on yourself if you're going to, actually own that policy on that child. But that's something we'll talk about. I get to know you, what your expectation, what your plans, and then we map our plan out. Don't think that you don't have it. If you have money coming in, I can show you how much money you're losing. I can find it. All I say to you, if I find this money for you, will you use it to open your own bank? Will you use it wisely where it's coming back to you? If I find it, can you use it to do what's necessary, which is to control the banking function in your life and becoming your own bank? Right. So I thank you again for tuning in today's topic. I love today's topic, and I hope you did too. Today, the conversation was on why do we need to protect our children with life insurance early? Protect them early. It is essential that you do that because you don't want them to get older and uninsured. I had literally three kids from age, I think the youngest was 6 years old to the oldest 17-year-old that was uninsured because of weight. Remember, these kids' weight change. These kids' weights change, and over time, if you don't start now, you don't know what's going to happen with these kids in the near future. Get them covered now. Stop delaying. Do not delay. You hear me? Do not delay. There, do not delay. All right, y'all. Until next time, I want you to take care, take charge, and continue to be great. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert, where Mellisa speaks with leaders, experts, and motivators who share their journeys and their stories through personal and professional growth, knowledgeable tips, and lessons learned that will empower you to grow. Follow Mellisa and Women Emerge Network on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at MELLISA SLAMBERT and at Women Emerge Network. And visit www.womenemergenetwork.com. Remember, when you know better, you can do better, especially when God is for you.